Our next example is an example where we need to write the equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Now you see 3 here. You must get rid of that. Let's make that 0. So that means we subtract both sides by 3. If you look at this, none of them are like terms. So if none of them are like terms, then that would be as is. So we have 12x squared plus 5x minus 3 equals 0. Right, 12x squared plus 5x minus 3 equals 0. Now, here, if we look at 1253, we don't have a GCF. And so that means we have to use AC method. Factoring, we just did that yesterday. So let's try that. We multiply your A and C. Your A is 12, your C is -3. So what's 12 times -3? It's -36. The sum here is 5. Let's look at this again. If your product is negative, your factors positive, negative. So positive, negative. Let's look at those numbers. What are those numbers whose sum is 5? All right, it's a positive, negative, right? So, do you have any number? We can try 136, but of course the sum is not 5. And try 2. 30 divided by 2, 18. The sum is -16. All right, maybe we can make our divisor bigger and have 4. -30 divided by 4, -9. The sum is -5. But we're looking for 5. So what will you do? Switch. This one will be +9, -4. So that the sum will be +5. All right, so always check everything, your signs, everything. So it's plus 9 minus 4. Oh, can you tell me the factors now? Are you sure it's x plus 9, x minus 4? No, we have a 12 there. So don't. Okay. What you'll do is do factoring by grouping. Okay. Or you can use the burying method. But I'm going to teach you the grouping. So we can expand this. So you cannot just write x plus 9, x minus 4. Now remember that x plus 9, x minus 4, remember that that will not be your factors, right? Because we have a coefficient here that's 12. If there's none, then you can just write x plus 9, x minus 4. It's not the case. So let's expand 5x. So we have 12x squared plus 9x minus 4x minus 3 equals 0. Now, what's your GCF for 12x squared and 9x? Let's factor 12. What are the factors of 12? You can have 6 and 2. But 6 is still factorable as 2, 3, right? You have here 4, 3. 4, you have 2, 2. So you have 2, 2, 3. And x squared, you have xx. How about 9x? You have 3, 3x. All right, so what's your GCF there? It's 3x. Our GCF is 3x. So we factor out 3x. We divide this by 3x, 3x. 12 divided by 3. X squared divided by x, x, and then 9x divided by 3x, 3. You see 4x plus 3 here? This one should be 4x plus 3 also. Now, let's find the GCF of 4x and 3. Vector 4x, you have 2, 2, x, 3. Do you have a GCF here? Other than 1? It's 1. But this is negative, right? So I have to put here negative 1. We don't have GCF. If you don't have a GCF, there's no common here. You put 1. If it's positive, negative 1 if it is negative. So you carry the sign of this term. So without dividing by negative 1, negative 1. Negative 4x divided by negative 1 is 4x. Negative 3 divided by negative 1 is 3. Are they the same? Yes. Should be the same. Everything should be the same. Signs, variable, coefficients, especially your signs. It should be positive. I mean, 4x plus 3, 4x plus 3. Exactly the same. So what are your factors? It's going to be 4x plus 3 and 3x minus 1. You remember what we said a while ago? If you write x plus 9 and x minus 4, these are not the same with that. So you cannot just write x plus 9 and x minus 4. You have to perform this to get your correct factors. All right? Please do what I say. Don't do what you want to do. Because you will, well, you get it wrong. Let's solve for x here now. You'll have 4x plus 3 equals 0, setting its factor to 0. Then we have 3x minus 1 equals 0. You subtract both sides by 3. Minus 3 minus 3. You have 4x equals, okay, negative 3. Divide both sides by 4. Your x is negative 3/4. How about here? This is plus 1, plus 1. You have 3x equals 1. Divide by 3. 3x will be 1/3. And so these are your solutions. Negative 3/4 and 1/3. You have 5p squared minus 6p equals negative 1. You know that this one is not in standard form. We need this side to be 0. So we add both sides by 1. Let's do that. It's gonna be plus 1 plus 1. And your result, none of them are like terms on the left side, so it will be as is. You have 5. You have 5p squared minus 6p plus 1 equals 0. And now we multiply your A and C is 5 times 1. 5 times 1 is 5. And our sum is negative 6. So what are these factors? What would be your signs to get a negative 6? Your product is positive, but your sum is negative. So what are your signs now? You've been doing this a lot of times. So what should be your signs? Negative, negative. So what are factors of 5? The sum is negative 6. You only have one option, right? 1, 5, 5, 1, but either of these will do. Negative 6, negative 6. When you add them, negative 1 plus negative 5, negative 6. So it could be either of the two, right? It could be negative 1, negative 5. So we can expand this. Don't just write p minus 1, p minus 5, because that would be wrong. What you'll do is to expand. So we have 5p squared negative 1p, or simply negative p, negative 5p plus 1 equals 0. So let's factor this one now. You have 5p squared minus p. What's your GCF for 5p squared and p? You have p. So you factor out p, and then we divide this by p. 5p squared divided by p. 5p, negative p divided by p, negative 1. All right, so for the next one, negative 5p plus 1, any GCF there? What shall we write? Either 1 or negative 1. So we can put here negative 1, because that's negative, all right? So when you factor 5p, it's 5p. And then here 1, you don't have a common factor that's not equal to 1. You can write 1, but carry your sign here. If that's negative, put that, carry it. So we divide by negative 1, so that we come up with the same binomial factor. Negative 5p divided by negative 1, that's now positive 5p. And 1 divided by negative 1, that's now negative 1 is equal to 0. Notice that these are the same. So we have 5p minus 1, and this is p minus 1. And it's time to solve your p. Let's solve your p by setting its factor to 0. You have 5p minus 1 equals 0, or 5p, I mean, not 5p, okay, it's p, it's p minus 1 equals 0. All right, so this is plus 1, plus 1. You have 5p equals 0 plus 1, we have 1. And let me continue over here. We divide both sides by 5. So what's your p? Your p is equal to 1 over 5. For p minus 1 equals 0, we add 1 both sides, and your p is equal to 1. So our solution set will be 1/5, 1. And we are done for this example.